Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Ghosts, and we're playing a bit of Kill Confirmed on the map Strike Zone, running around with the Ripper, submachine gun, and assault rifle. It's a hybrid, you guys know that. And it's pretty good gameplay, but it's rather fast gameplay, and there's a lot I want to discuss in today's video, so I'm going to try and get all my points across as fast as possible. On this past week's episodes of Chem Strike Saturday, one of them was using the MTAR-X on the map Octane, or using the Nebula camo, and towards the end of that video, I discussed a little bit about weapon camos in Call of Duty, and why is it that the microtransaction camos, the DLC camos, why is it that they are usually so much better than the camos that you get stock with the game, and we're going to kind of expand on that a little bit for today's video. So we're running out the unicorn camo in this gameplay, which is just kind of goofy, but I figure it's kind of a fitting camo to have in this particular video. So I want to make the point across about weapon camos. There are 16 total camos in Call of Duty Ghosts that can be unlocked normally. They came stock with the game. There's 13 ones that you can unlock via challenges, doing different things, you know, getting killed shortly after sliding, or getting headshots, or doing whatever challenges, right? That's kind of a traditional way to get weapon camos in Call of Duty, and there's 16 different camos that you can get that way. 3 of them are via by doing different things with clan wars and leveling up your clan, which is kind of a unique thing to add camos to make it so people actually want to do clan wars and join a clan and do different challenges and stuff. It's okay, cool. There's 16 total camos. They've added 29 camos via microtransaction DLC or different other things, like, you know, pre-ordering Advanced Warfare or getting a season pass for Call of Duty Ghosts and different kinds of camos like that. But overall, between microtransactions and other ways of obtaining camos outside of doing challenges, there's 29 camos in Call of Duty Ghosts. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I've always seemed to maintain the idea that it's a good thing that they're adding so much stuff because it's microtransactions. It's weapon camos. You know, it doesn't affect the game in any way, shape, or form. It just makes it so you can personalize your experience while you're playing Call of Duty a bit better by having different kinds of camos. If you want to drop $2 and buy yourself the unicorn camo, then go for it. That's always kind of been the opinion I had. But I read some comments, and this one really kind of almost swayed my opinion on this subject entirely. It really made me start to think about weapon camos in Call of Duty in a different light. Is somebody said that camos in Call of Duty should be really good looking, but they should be for unlocking challenges. That way, if you do something really cool or have a really hard challenge within game, that it's kind of a little badge of honor in a way. I really can't think of a better way to describe it for your camo. For example, getting the gold camo in Call of Duty 4 was really hard, alright? So it's not like in Black Ops where you can just buy the gold camo, or it's not like Black Ops 2 where you have to get, you know, just completely do all the challenges for a gun, you unlock gold camo. To unlock gold camo in Call of Duty 4, and it was only available on certain weapons, right? So, for example, on the assault rifles in Call of Duty 4, the only weapon that could get gold was the AK-47. And how you did that was you had to complete all the headshot challenges for every single assault rifle within the assault rifle category, and then you would unlock your golden AK-47. So you can get your AK up the Red Tiger, then you gotta do your M16 and your M4 and your G36C and your G3 and your M14 and your MP44. You gotta do all the different assault rifles, complete the challenges for all of those guns, then you unlock the gold camo. And then it was kind of like a little badge of honor in a way, like, hey, look, I did all this really hard challenges and I was able to actually unlock this. And that's kind of a neat idea. I kind of wish it was like that within Call of Duty still, you know. It used to, when it used to be more simple, like maybe back even during Modern Warfare 2, if you saw somebody that had, you know, the fall camo, and of course this is before all the modding came in and everyone got every camo unlocked regardless, but if you saw somebody with like the fall camo really early on in the game, you're like, holy crap, that guy uses that gun a lot, therefore he's probably pretty good with it, you know, etc. But now, if you actually look in your typical match in Call of Duty, it's all DLC camos for the most part. You see people running around with the unicorn camo, or my personal favorite, the Nebula camo, or maybe you see them running around with the marijuana camo, or whatever. Everyone's using DLC camos now, and that's kind of changed around a little bit. But I still feel as though I'm going to maintain the position that that's actually still a good thing, that microtransactions are a part of the game, because it can once again allow you to customize your experience, because you might as well have it that way. You might as well have it that way, because if you have it so if you want to unlock, you know, the unicorn camo, and you want to put the unicorn camo, for example, as one of these standard camos, that kind of breaks the feel of the game for certain players. I feel as though there's certain players out there that like the fact that there's your standard woodland camos and your standard desert camos and different kind of camos like that within Call of Duty games, and then all the other people that, you know, want this kind of stuff, they can just purchase it. Because I think Call of Duty would be a very different game if the standard camos, Okay, you've unlocked 15 headshots with your gun. Here's your unicorn camo. That would just be... I think that'd be off-putting for a lot of people. So I feel as though the system they have now in place is actually the best system that they could have for different kinds of camos within Call of Duty if they were going to add microtransaction DLC. Which, of course, microtransaction DLC, especially for camos, is not exactly going anywhere, guys. It is... It started in Black Ops 2, and I've actually got the numbers pulled up for Black Ops 2. There were 16 camos that you can unlock in Black Ops 2 normally through normal challenges on your guns, and there were 29 ones that were unlocked via DLC and via Season Pass and pre-ordering and doing all that kind of stuff, right? So for the past 2 Call of Duty games, we've got nearly 30 DLC camos that were obtained outside of doing normal things within the game. So I feel as though Advanced Warfare is definitely going to have this. And I think I still maintain the fact that camos in Call of Duty that come in via microtransactions and DLC are still a good thing as personalization. They're not ridiculously overpriced. And I still feel as though they're overall a good thing for Call of Duty. And I realize the gameplay's over, but there's one more thing I want to cover on this. I feel as though it's better overall to have these camos, these wacky kind of camos within Call of Duty, because then I feel as though the Call of Duty developers, if they're adding this stuff to the game, then they're slowly starting to realize that Call of Duty is not really like a real war simulator. It's more of a fast-paced arcade action shooter. That's what Call of Duty is. And if they do that and they focus more on making Call of Duty a fast-paced action shooter and not trying to have like a real war feel, I feel as though Call of Duty itself can actually be a lot better of a game. Look at the maps, for example, in Call of Duty. We went from camos, now we're talking about maps. Look at the maps within the game. When they try to have a real look, it really starts to look really dark and dreary and just almost gross, right? The maps are all just destroyed in ruins. It's almost as if in a lot of the Call of Duty maps, especially here in Call of Duty Ghosts, especially during Modern Warfare 3, a little bit during Black Ops 2, and definitely if you want to go way back in the day, like all of World of War's maps were this way, which I'd like World War 2, but still, all the maps were this way. It's like they take an awesome idea for a map, then just destroy the hell out of it, and whatever's left, they call the new map, right? They take really cool concepts for different areas and cool things that, like, for example, the map we were just playing on, Strike Zone, right? We're playing on that map. Strike Zone's a really cool idea for a map. We're in a baseball stadium, for crying out loud. We're not out there in the field, and we're not in a dugout or anything like that, but we're in the concession stands. We got the team store there. It's a really cool idea for a map, and then you call in a chem strike, and it's like, okay, now it's all rebels, just like the rest of the maps in this game. And I feel as though Call of Duty overall is really, really bad at that. Most of the maps are just kind of rubbly. I think it's because they're trying to go for, like, a real feel, like, oh, we're in war, this is super serious. But then you kind of look at like what Black Ops 2 did, and most of the maps, of course there's some exceptions, but most of the maps were actually intact. They were just cool areas for a map, and then you go in there and play. And of course there's exceptions like Aftermath, which is one of the worst maps. I hate that map so much. I don't even play it. I literally have not played the map Aftermath since like December of when Black Ops 2 came out, because if that map comes up and there's no way to skip it, we leave the lobby and find a new one. I hate that map so much. But either way, I feel as though this commentary has gone on way too long and way over the gameplay. But those are my opinions on camos in Call of Duty. I still feel as though it's good to have microtransaction DLC, and it could possibly lead to something better in the future, whereas if they're adding unicorn camos, and they're adding nebula camos, and they're adding, for God's sakes, marijuana camos, then maybe Call of Duty will stop taking themselves so seriously, and then the maps, in turn, will start getting better and looking better, and the game itself will just look really, really awesome, have a lot more of a fun feel to it. Those are my thoughts on weapon camos. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.